Welcome to Robert Bellissimo at the Movies, where we explore all things cinema. Before I get to the interview I did with Simon Crocker and Robert Dance, who just put out this wonderful book. In fact, let me just put my camera up a bit so you can see this wonderful photo of Bette Davis on the cover. Fabulous Faces of Classic Hollywood. I was in New York at the Rizzoli bookstore, where they were doing a wonderful book signing and book talk with the photographer Jason Bell, who's a well-known photographer who does a lot of celebrities and film posters, and you can check him out on Instagram. He does really wonderful work. And we did a interview right after that, right there in the bookstore. Now, what happened was it was quite loud in the bookstore, and so the audio was pretty messy, unfortunately. And so I did my best. I didn't want to just throw the interview out because I thought it was a wonderful talk and unique in the sense that we were in New York at the Rizzoli bookstore. And so I did my best to get rid as much of the background noise as I could. The audio is okay. Mostly you can't always understand what we're all saying. So what I did was I put subtitles throughout the video. So just so you're aware, it's not the best sound, but you can certainly read the subtitles. And I've got some great images from the book when they come up throughout our chat. And so, without further ado, here is my interview with Robert Dance and Simon Crocker.
We are here live in New York at the Rizzoli bookstore with Simon Crocker and, of course, Robert Dance. And their new book, Fabulous Faces, which is extraordinary, of classic Hollywood. So, gentlemen, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you so much for being with us in New York.
Yeah, no, it was a pleasure to come. Can you talk a little bit about the inspiration behind, I know you both have done many books, but the inspiration behind putting these images out?
Well, we actually sold our print archive to the John Kobal Foundation. So when we were asked to do this book by the publisher, we only had the negatives. So in a sense, and that we felt was an advantage because there were many negatives that we never printed. You know, that gave us the impetus to actually go through them. Surprisingly, something we'd never done in 40 years. And we
it took the better part of a week working around the clock.
Was it difficult to narrow down which images to go through when you're going
The
through
first difficult thing is, remember, you're looking at negatives, not positives. So you're holding these negatives up to the light and wondering what they're going to look like when they're printed. So, my guess is we've been dealing with this for a long time. A pretty good idea of what it means to have a good negative. But it's not until they usually get printed or scanned that we can look at it. So we had to select probably twice as many as we used. Because some, didn't give us the same effect.
I see. Were there any that got left out that you were so disappointed you couldn't include?
No. I think the good thing about the digital archive is pulling on 6 photos of Lena Warren. We're going to find a good one.
the problem is it's so hard to find a bad one.
We could do it just through a picture blurring off.
Oh, for sure. I mean, that was his father was into ferocious ambition. As soon as I saw the image, I was like, I'm gonna read the book. Do you both have a favorite in here?
Yeah, well, I have a favorite.
What's your favorite?
I love the Elizabeth Taylor. I mean, look, I like a lot of it, but I mean, I like that particularly because I think it's a perfect encapsulation of Hollywood stars. It's got that magnetism, beauty, glamour.
It's remarkable.
One of my favorites, like right to the image, is this photograph of Anna May Wong, who has become quite an idol of the 21st century, although she had a really small career. relatively minor career while she was working, but she's become an extraordinary passion icon. With a lot of the first stuff, we found some fantastic qualities.
Yeah, I think just recently, my classic album was going to give this series towards her because I haven't.
And it's almost never a starring film. It's important.
Oh no, absolutely. I mean, the images alone make you like, which was obviously the intent at the time was the images made people in film. I know last time when we all met, we talked a little bit about how the studios knew who to push based on these pictures. So I mean, is it an instinct that they led that maybe they were attracted to how captivating some of them were, and then they pushed the.
I think that the simple answer is that if you take a very good picture for film shot in so they start out as still studios, portrait studios. And if you register well, then you get a screenplay. If you register well, you might get a big part. And if you register well, you might become a Joan Crawford.
Right.
He says in certainly France, the publicity department is getting a number of publicists, and they were a certain number of contract artists. Their job was to get a certain number of hits every week into the magazines of those artists. It was kind of competition between the different publicists. I'm going to get more from my artist than from yours. And that was by their job was to just keep the studio number one priority and the stars in the public eye the whole time.
Were they interested in what the photographers also thought? Did they ask their input, like,
what do you mean by they? The studios,
like
In the sessions or in the
like after the sessions, what they say, well, who do you think is the photographs the best? So,
to some extent, remember the photographers, the cinematographers are looking at their work.
yeah.
So it's not who you think is good. Once you're building somebody, the cinematographers will talk to the portrait photographers and see the lighting or the shadow and what was working. Crawford's photographs was around. The kind of lighting, the kind of Crawford look starts appearing in her film. Because it works. And it's much cheaper to figure this out in the portrait studio than with 40 people. I don't really have the time to do all this.
right.
But you can figure it out in the portrait studio first and bring it on to set.
Oh, that's something.
It's good that we can help you.
Yeah, absolutely. Just one last question without John, Kobal, without his interest in photographers and photographs and going after the negatives and everything, do you think these photos would have kind of been lost? Or?
No, I think they would have been found, but
Some of them would have been destroyed.
yeah. I mean, John basically, with the drive in taking them, as I said, in memorabilia to be put in a platform where they could be viewed very different. Works of art sounds a bit precious, but seeing them as artists, not as just technicians.
Isn't it true, Simon, that he kept some things out of the rubbish bin? Students were calling him and saying, if you don't come and claim this material, it's going to be destroyed.
Well, they were basically, where this is in the 1960s. There was no interest in Hollywood history at the time. I think there'd been one book that had just come out. And it was kind of, so, they were just taking up warehouse space. And so it was like, John, you're interested in all this other stuff. If you want some, and the important thing was with art. It wasn't just someone accumulating. He also got to read them very well, because obviously Robert's saying, you hold them up, you can't really tell.
Right.
But, he picked stars. People he knew. There's a pretty good chance in beginning.
And he collected all the DVDs and the garbage and so I was really pretty awesome.
And one, now I say it's always when I say one last question, it's never one last question. But we touched on this a little bit with Joan Crawford, which is something that a little bit dawned on me was the fact that at the time, this is commercials through social media, that these photographs were a way to keep the audience to remember the stars.
Collecting stills, sending away to the studios for portraits of your favorites. Yeah, that was all a way that the studios could keep.
He's seen the recreation.
And today are the photographs. I mean, obviously,
I think each individual connects his own fan base, stars. Instagram, all of their favorites.
and so now that the book is out, I imagine it's fairly easy for people to find on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Get it on all good bookshops and
There it is.
Amazon, of course, and other places.
It's a fantastic. I mean, I love it. I can look at it. It's just jaw-dropping images, and of course, if you're in New York, there's here at the Rizzoli bookstore. So I would recommend it if you're interested in classic film or photography in general. Gentlemen, thank you so much. This was great.
Pleasure to talk to you.
Yeah, you as well. We can talk endlessly, and maybe we'll set something up for an extended talk on Zoom.
That'd be great.
All right.
Love to do that.
Thank you, and thanks so much for watching.
I want to thank all of my members on Patreon. If you're interested in becoming a member of my Patreon, head over to the link patreon.com/rubberbellissimo at the movies for full details. Patreon is exclusive content that you will receive month in and month out. So head over to the link for full details and join today. You can also leave a donation directly to my YouTube channel by pressing the thanks link, which you will find directly below the video frame. Just click on the link, and from there, you can leave a donation if you choose to. And lastly, if this is your first time here, please consider subscribing. It is absolutely free to do so by pressing the Robert Bellissimo at the Movies logo, which you will see floating above my head in the top left corner of your screen. So just click on that, and then click the bell in order to get a notification every time I release a new video. And lastly, liking the videos, sharing, and commenting all really help to create traction over to my YouTube channel. So please like, please share, please comment, and we can engage together further on my YouTube channel about my various videos and episodes. Thank you so much again, everyone, and I will see you all soon.